Space was silent, cold, endless. Nothing moved except dust and dead light from faraway stars. But then something broke that silence, a single signal, weak, shaking, and full of fear. The signal traveled across galaxies like a wounded cry. It passed dying stars, broken planets, and dark nebulae. It crossed places where no human eye had ever looked. And finally, after thousands of years, it reached Earth. In the deep underground chamber of Earth's Space Communication Center, a young operator named Malik sat half asleep at his console. The night shift was always boring, nothing interesting ever happened. They mostly listened to static old satellites and random space noise. But then his screen suddenly flickered, a red line flashed, a warning beep echoed in the room. Incoming signal, unknown source. Malik straightened his back. His heart began to beat faster. This wasn't a normal satellite ping. This was different, strange, unstable, like something alive. He activated the audio playback. At first there was only static, then a voice that was not human. It was trembling, full of pain, full of fear. "Please help us, someone, anyone hear us?" Malik froze. Goosebumps ran down his arms. The voice sounded desperate, like it was dying while speaking. He leaned closer to the speaker. "Please, we beg you, they are coming. We cannot stop them. We are dying." Malik slammed the emergency button. Alarms blared across the building. Lights turned red, doors locked. Security teams rushed in. Scientists and officers woke from their sleep and ran to the control floor. General Alina Torres arrived first. She was strict, sharp, and always calm in a crisis. "Report," she demanded. Malik swallowed hard. "General, we received a message. It's not human." Everyone turned toward him at once. "Play it," the general ordered. The room filled with static again, followed by that broken voice. "Please help us, they are tearing our world apart. Please save us." The voice cracked like something horrible was happening in the background. The technicians quickly projected the source of the signal on the holographic map. A star system far beyond human colonies, farther than any human ship had traveled. The coordinates pointed to a dying region of space, old, unstable, full of collapsed stars and dangerous energy storms. "Is it a trap?" one scientist whispered. "Could be," another answered. "No alien species has ever asked Earth for help before," someone else added. "But listen to that voice," Malik said quietly. "It sounds real. They sound terrified." General Alina stared at the coordinates. "Whoever sent this, they're not close, and they're not military. This sounds like civilians." A cold silence settled in the room. The voice continued repeating, "Please help us, they are coming, they will destroy everything, they will come for you too." Alina's eyes narrowed. "Come for us, so the enemy they speak of, they travel between stars, they destroy entire civilizations." No one said a word, but everyone felt the fear growing inside their chest. If these unknown attackers could destroy alien worlds across galaxies, Earth might be on their list too. The United Earth Council met within the hour. The emergency room was locked down. Leaders, military commanders, and scientists from every region gathered around the glowing holo table. The message played again for them. "Please help us, we are dying, they will find you. Run, run before they come." Some leaders looked pale, others pretended to stay calm. But everyone knew the truth. This message was not just a cry for help, it was a warning from a civilization that might already be dead. President Amina spoke first. "What are our options?" Admiral Kato stepped forward. "We can send a scouting drone, but it will take years to reach the coordinates." "Too slow," the president said. Then the admiral continued, "We send a fleet, a fast response armada. Our Titan-class warships can travel through hyperspace. They can reach the signal origin in days." Many politicians protested. "That is too far. What if it is a trap? We cannot risk our best ships. Humans should not get involved in alien wars." Silence fell when the president raised her hand. Amina looked around the room. "If this is real, if something is destroying whole civilizations, then Earth is already involved. We cannot wait for that thing to reach us." The room stayed quiet. Then she spoke the most important words of the decade: "Prepare the fleet." The next day, the Titan-class destroyer J-65 Helios stood ready in Earth orbit, a giant beast of metal and fire, armored like a floating fortress. With it stood 4 more heavy warships, each one strong enough to fight a small war alone. Captain Eric Hale walked across the deck of the Helios. He was experienced, confident, and known for taking impossible missions. He studied the recordings again as he walked. That alien voice, the pain in the tone, the hopelessness, he felt it deep in his chest. This wasn't a trap. This was someone's final cry. His first officer, Rena, walked beside him. "Sir, the crew is ready. All systems stable. Jump drive charged." "Good," Hale said softly. "Once we jump, we enter the unknown. None of us know what waits for us." Rena nodded. "The crew understands. They're scared, but they're ready." Hale smiled slightly. "Humans are always scared. Fear keeps us awake." He looked again at the hologram of the alien signal. "Someone out there begged us for help. We can't ignore that." Inside the Helios, soldiers checked weapons, engineers tested engines, medics organized emergency supplies. Everyone felt a strange tension in their stomachs. Some whispered, "What if we find the aliens alive?" What if we find only bones? What if we find something worse? Others asked darker questions. What if these attackers come for Earth next? What if we are already too late? The ship vibrated slightly as the jump engines began charging. The captain's voice echoed across all decks. This is Captain Hale. We are about to travel farther than any human has before. We don't know what waits for us, but someone asked for our help, and humans do not ignore a cry for help. The crew stood straight. The ship's AI counted down. 10, 9, 8. Outside the viewports, Earth shined peacefully below. Blue oceans, white clouds, bright continents. Rena whispered, "Let's hope we see home again, sir." Hale nodded slowly. "We will." 765. The alien message repeated one last time through the ship's speakers. "Please help us, they are coming." 432. Hale whispered to himself, "Hold on, we're coming." One jump, a flash of white swallowed the ship. Space twisted, bent, and opened like a wound. The 5 warships leaped into hyperspace, vanishing instantly from Earth's orbit. Hyperspace was a strange, glowing tunnel of shifting lights and shadows. The Helios flew at impossible speed, the universe stretching around it like liquid glass. Inside the fleet, everyone felt the tension growing. Hale stood in the command chamber. "Time to arrival, 4 hours, the navigator replied. "Any updates on the signal?" "Still active, but extremely weak, sir, it's fading." Hale clenched his jaw. If the signal dies, then the senders may already be gone. Hours later, space ripped open again and the fleet dropped out of hyperspace. Alarms beeped, lights flashed red, every crew member gasped at the sight before them. The alien star system was destroyed, a one-screen world burned below them. Miles-wide cracks glowed with molten fire, cities were shattered like broken glass. Smoke rose into space. No ships, no defenders, no life, just silence, a dead world. Rena whispered, "Sir, what happened here?" Hale stared at the burning planet. His voice was low and cold. "War happened." The scanner officer suddenly shouted, "Captain, picking up one life sign, weak underground." Hope struck the room. "Prepare landing teams," Hale ordered. "If even one survivor remains, we save them." But before the teams could launch, a tremor shook the ship. Then another. The radar officer froze in horror. "Sir, unknown ships appearing behind the planet, many of them." Rena whispered, terrified. "The enemy." The scanners pinged again. More ships, more signals, dozens, hundreds, fast, silent, predatory. They were coming straight toward the human fleet. Hale stared at the screen, his heart pounding. "So," he whispered, "you finally show yourselves." The alien message repeated for the final time in his mind. "Run before they find you." Hale stood tall. "Well," he said, "they found us." He turned to his crew. Battle stations. The Helios roared to life as the enemy fleet closed in. And in that moment, one truth became clear. The SOS was not just a call for help. It was a warning. Someone had destroyed this alien civilization, and now they were coming for Earth. The Helios hung above the burning alien world like a lone guardian. Space was silent again, but this silence felt different, heavy, dangerous, like the air before a storm. Captain Hale watched as dark shapes emerged from behind the ruined planet. At first they looked like drifting shadows, then they grew larger, clearer, until everyone realized the truth. These weren't ships. These were hunters, smooth black hulls, no lights, no signals, no markings. They moved like ghosts, fast, sharp, and cold. Rena whispered, "Sir, they don't look like any design we've ever seen." Hale nodded. "Because they're not meant to communicate, they're made for killing." One of the helmsmen shivered, like predators in the dark. As the enemy fleet drew closer, Earth's warships powered up their shields and weapons. But something strange happened. The enemy ships stopped. Just outside firing range, dozens of them, silent, watching. They formed a circle, closing the human fleet inside an invisible trap. Hale felt every muscle in his body tighten. "They're studying us." The ship's AI spoke suddenly. "Warning, enemy ships scanning our hull structure." Rena frowned. "Scanning us for what?" Hale exhaled. "Weak points." Down in the engineering bay, Chief Engineer Alara ran checks on the jump drive. It had taken heavy strain from the hyperspace jump. She knew if things went bad, they might not get a second chance. "Come on, girl," she whispered to the engine core. "If we need to run, I need you alive." But a sudden jolt threw her forward. The lights flickered. The entire ship trembled. She pulled up her screen. "Unknown signal attempting to breach systems, breach blocked." For now, Alara felt fear rise in her chest. "They're hacking us." Back on the bridge, Hale's comm officer shouted, "Captain, they tried to force a data link. Something tried entering our navigation." Hale clenched his fists. "So they hack, they invade systems, and they destroy worlds. They don't fight wars, they erase species." Rena looked at him. "Sir, why are they waiting? They could attack now." Hale stared at the silent enemy fleet. "They are waiting for something." As if answering his words, a deep vibration shook the Helios. It wasn't from the enemy. It came from below, inside the dying planet. The scanner officer shouted, "Captain, the bunker life signal is growing stronger. It's sending out a new pattern." "The alien survivor, the one hiding underground," Rena gasped. "Sir, maybe they triggered something, a beacon or a warning." The signal pulse repeated faster, louder, the room filled with the strange alien pattern, tum 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 tum, almost like a heartbeat. Hale whispered, "It's calling to us." But then every enemy ship turned at the same exact moment. Not toward Earth's fleet, toward the planet, toward the bunker. Rena's eyes widened. Sir, they're going for the survivor. Hale didn't hesitate. Prepare drop teams, secure the survivor before they do. The crew scrambled. Marines rushed to the launch bay. Engines screamed to life, but before they could launch, a massive shadow blocked the nearest star. A larger enemy ship arrived, far bigger than the others. Massive, silent, ancient-looking, it moved like a god descending. The ship wasn't built, it looked grown, organic lines, bone-like armor, pulsing energy veins along the hull. The crew stared in horror. Sir, what is that? Hale's voice dropped to a whisper. Something old, something powerful. The behemoth ship slowly turned its front toward the burning planet. A strange, dark glow formed around its core, like black light bending the space around it. The ship was not here to fight, it was here to finish the job. Rena shouted, Captain. If it fires, there will be nothing left of the bunker. Hale slammed his fist on the console. Helm, bring us between that ship and the planet now. The helmsman hesitated. Sir, that's suicide, that's an order. The Helios roared forward, engines burning, hull shaking, shields glowing. The other Earth warships followed, forming a wall around the planet, blocking the enemy's firing line. The massive enemy ship paused. It tilted slightly, almost curious. Then for the first time it transmitted something. A sound, a low, rumbling growl that vibrated through every human ship. Not words, not a message, a threat, a warning, a promise. Hale exhaled. So you want the survivor, you want no witnesses. He stepped forward, eyes burning, over my dead body. The growl grew louder, then the behemoth enemy ship's core flared with blinding dark energy. It was charging its main weapon. Rena shouted, Sir, they're about to fire. Hale's voice was steady. Marines, launch now. Drop pods shot toward the burning planet like falling stars. Inside one of the drop pods, Sergeant Knox gripped his seat as fire streaked past the window. Commander, we got enemy signals all over the lower atmosphere. His commander growled, then keep your eyes open and your guns ready. The pod hit the surface with a heavy crash. The doors blew open. Marines ran into the smoking wasteland. The ground was cracked like a shattered mirror. Flames burned from holes in the earth. The sky glowed orange with ash. Knox checked his scanner. Life sign is underground. The bunker entrance should be 50 meters east, but strange shadows moved in the smoke, metallic shapes, enemy drones deploying from orbit. Contact, Knox shouted. Gunfire lit the burning landscape. The enemy drones moved fast, legs sharp like blades, bodies shaped like crawling shadows. But humans fought back harder. Rail rifles cracked, plasma bolts flashed, machines shattered. Knox's team pushed forward. They reached the bunker door. It was old, metallic, cracked, but still sealed. Knox placed the breaching tool. Stand back, boom, the door blasted open. Inside, the air was cold, dark, silent. Then a weak voice echoed through the tunnel. Why you came? Knox raised his visor light. There, lying on the floor, was the alien survivor, thin, pale, fragile. Their skin glowed faintly like dying embers. The alien whispered, You must run, they know I am alive. Knox shook his head. We're here to get you out. No, the alien whispered, voice trembling. You don't understand, they are not here for me. Knox froze. What do you mean? The alien looked up with wide, terrified eyes. They are here for you. At that exact moment, back in orbit, the massive enemy ship completed its charge. Its core pulsed. The light bent. The void collapsed inward. Rena screamed, Captain, they're firing. But Hale stood firm, jaw tight, heart burning with fury. Then let them. The Helios braced for impact as the enemy unleashed a blast meant to erase an entire species. A beam of black energy, like a piece of night peeled out of reality, shot directly toward the Helios. Space rippled, stars flickered, time itself shivered around the blast. Rena grabbed the railing, shields at maximum. Hale did not move. He stood as if staring directly into death, but something strange happened. The moment the dark beam touched the Helios shields, the beam bent. It didn't hit, it curved, like the ship itself refused to die. The bridge filled with blinding white light as the energy scattered in every direction. The shockwave threw crew members to the floor, consoles sparked. Lights flickered, but the Helios was still there, alive, barely. Rena gasped, How did we survive that? The ship's AI answered, calm as always. Unknown interference detected. Probability of survival was less than 0.1%. External force disrupted enemy weapon trajectory. Hale raised an eyebrow. External force from where? Before the AI could answer, a second shockwave hit the hull, but this time it wasn't from the enemy, it came from the planet. Deep below the surface, Knox and his team struggled to stay on their feet as the bunker shook violently. Cracks spread across the ceiling, dust rained down. Knox shouted, Everyone move, we're getting out of here. But the alien survivor held up a shaking hand. No, you must listen. Knox hesitated. We don't have time. You survived their cannon, the alien croaked. No one survives that, not planets, not fleets, not entire species. The Marines looked at each other in confusion. The alien's eyes widened. They feared something around you. Knox frowned. Feared what? The alien whispered, You brought something or someone they did not expect. Back in orbit, the enemy fleet reacted strangely. They didn't fire again, they didn't advance, they retreated silently in formation as if avoiding something invisible. Rena stared at the radar. Sir, they're pulling back. Hale narrowed his eyes. Predators don't run unless they sense a bigger predator. The largest enemy ship tilted slightly as if watching them, studying them, then it slowly turned. Vanishing behind the burning planet, moments later, nothing. Space went silent again, the entire enemy force was gone. Hale muttered, "They're not running from us, they're running from whatever interfered with their weapon." Rena whispered, "But what interfered?" The AI responded again, "Unidentified signal source detected, origin, Earth's jump signature." The bridge fell silent. Something came through the jump with them, something they didn't notice, something the enemy feared. Hale clenched his jaw. Find it. On the planet below, Nox dragged the wounded alien toward the exit. Enemy drones still crawled across the burning landscape, but they no longer attacked, they only watched. Almost afraid, Nox radioed the ship. "Helios, this is ground team, we have the survivor, request urgent evac." Static answered, then Hale's voice broke through, faint, distorted. "Nox, listen carefully, do not engage anything unusual, something came with you." Nox looked around. "What something?" The alien squeezed his arm weakly. "You don't feel it, it's near, very near." A cold wind passed through the bunker corridor, even though nothing could cause wind this deep underground. The Marines raised their weapons instantly. What was that? Movement at the end of the tunnel. Thermal scanners show nothing. Nox stepped forward. The lights flickered. A shape appeared. Tall, thin, glowing faintly, like a silhouette made of soft light. It had no face, no mouth, no eyes, just a smooth surface watching them. Nox whispered, "What is that?" The alien trembled violently. No, impossible. They destroyed them all. That is a sentinel." Nox's heartbeat grew louder. "A what?" The alien spoke in a shaking voice. "Sentinels, the oldest protectors in the galaxy. Our legends say they guarded young civilizations. But the enemy, the devourers, hunted them down, wiped them out." Nox blinked. "And what does it want with us?" The sentinel stepped closer, slow, silent, gentle, then it pointed upward, toward the sky, toward the Helios, toward Hale. The alien gasped, "It wants your captain." Hale watched the burning world from the bridge window. Something felt wrong, like invisible eyes were staring at him. Then the AI spoke, "Captain, a new energy signature is rising from the planet. Entity approaching drop zone." Hale's heart froze for a moment. Entity, correct. Rena brought up the visual, and Hale saw it, a glowing figure rising through the smoke, moving toward the surface. Not hostile, not threatening, just searching. Rena whispered, "Sir, it's coming to you." Hale exhaled slowly, prepared to receive it. The crew turned toward him in disbelief. "Sir, that thing could be dangerous. We don't even know what it is. It could be a trap." Hale raised a hand. "If that thing wanted us dead, the enemy ships would not have run." Rena swallowed. "Sir, are you saying this sentinel protected us?" Hale nodded. "It interfered with the Devourer's weapon. It saved us." The bridge went silent, a protector lost, forgotten, hunted by the enemy, and now it was coming straight to him. Down below, Nox and the alien reached the evac point. The sentinel approached calmly, its glowing form casting soft silver light across the ash-covered ground. Nox radioed the Helios. "Captain, the sentinel wants you. We're bringing the survivor up, but the sentinel stays behind unless you give the order." Hale answered, "Nox, bring the survivor, leave the sentinel, it knows what it's doing." Nox nodded. The alien whispered, "Your captain has courage, maybe too much." Nox smirked, "He's the scary one, not the alien." Moments later, Marines and the alien survivor were aboard the Helios. The sentinel remained on the planet, staring up at the human fleet, waiting. Hale stood in the hangar, eyes fixed on the hologram map. Rena approached him. "Sir, what now?" Hale didn't look away. "Now we find out why the Devourers are afraid of something that protects us." He turned, "And why the sentinel has chosen us." Rena felt a chill. "So we're in the middle of something ancient." Hale nodded. "Very ancient. And very dangerous." Outside the viewport, the sentinel began to rise, slowly, silently, gracefully. It was coming to the Helios, coming to meet humanity. And somewhere in the darkness of space, the Devourers were watching, afraid, for the first time in thousands of years. The Helios waited in silent orbit as the glowing figure, the sentinel, rose slowly from the burning planet below. It moved with calm purpose, like it had waited centuries just for this moment. In the command bridge, every crew member stared at the approaching shape. No one breathed, no one blinked. Rena whispered, "Sir, it's coming straight toward the hangar bay." Hale nodded. "I know." The crew looked at him with confusion and fear. "Captain, we don't even know if it's friendly. What if it's leading the Devourers to us? What if it's a trap?" Hale raised his hand. "If that thing wanted us dead, we would be dead." Silence. And deep inside everyone's heart, they knew he was right. The hangar doors opened. The massive hangar doors slid apart, revealing the void of space beyond, and drifting slowly through the opening came the sentinel. Its body glowed softly, silver, blue, and white, like starlight woven into a shape. No legs, no face, just a tall, smooth, humanoid silhouette. It floated gently above the floor as if gravity did not matter to it. The entire hangar crew backed away. Hale stood alone in the center, facing it. The sentinel stopped in front of him, its smooth, faceless head tilted slightly, studying him. Then a sound echoed in the hangar, a soft hum, gentle, almost musical. Rena whispered from the balcony above, "Sir, it's trying to communicate." Hale stepped forward. "What are you? Why did you help us?" The sentinel raised a hand made of shimmering energy, and touched the floor. A circle of glowing symbols appeared instantly. Not written words, not pictures. Memories. Images flooded across the hangar floor like a hologram river, a shining civilization filled with tall crystal cities, peaceful bright beings walking under twin suns, a fleet of devourer ships blotting out the sky, worlds burned, sentinels dying in battles across the galaxy. The crew stood frozen. The images shifted again. A single sentinel escaping, hiding for centuries, watching civilizations fall one by one, waiting. Hale's eyes widened. You were waiting for someone strong enough to fight them. The glowing figure lowered its head. It was an answer. Yes, the alien survivor speaks. The alien survivor, weak and trembling, was brought into the hangar. The moment they saw the sentinel, their eyes widened with both awe and terror. No, why did it choose you? Hale turned. What do you mean? In our legends, the alien whispered, the sentinels only appear to civilizations with a future, civilizations that the universe refuses to let die. Rena whispered, so humanity. The alien nodded slowly. The devourers fear the sentinels. If one chose you, then you are something they cannot predict. Hale looked at the sentinel. So they ran because of you. The sentinel slowly raised its arm toward Hale again. A new symbol lit up on the floor, a shield, protecting a small bright star, and in front of the star a human silhouette standing tall. The message was clear, humanity is the shield, humanity is chosen. Rena covered her mouth in shock. Sir, the sentinel thinks humans can defeat the devourers. Hale whispered, stunned, or maybe we're the only ones left who can. Sudden alarm, they didn't leave the ship's AI, suddenly cut through the silence. Warning, devourer signatures reappearing. They are not retreating, they are regrouping. Hale spun toward the hologram. The enemy fleet was returning, stronger, faster. Hundreds more signatures appeared on radar. Rena gasped, sir, they're preparing a full assault. The alien survivor's knees buckled. They will not allow a sentinel to live. They will destroy everything, your ship, your world, just to erase it again. Hale stepped toward the sentinel. Can you help us fight them? The sentinel didn't move. Instead, it pointed at Hale's chest. A small glowing light formed in front of him. Then the sentinel gently pressed its hand into Hale's chest. The crew screamed, Captain, get away from him. No, but Hale didn't feel pain. He felt heat, strength, a strange calmness. When the sentinel removed its hand, a small bright symbol burned faintly on Hale's chest, visible even through his uniform. Rena gasped, sir, your heart, it's glowing. The sentinel slowly bowed its head, a gift, a mark, a bond. The alien survivor whispered in awe, it chose him, it chose your captain as its bearer. Hale felt something new awaken inside him, energy, clarity, sight. He looked at the space outside the hangar and he could feel the devourers returning, as if sensing through another mind. Rena stepped forward, shaking. Sir, what did it do to you? Hale answered calmly, it gave me what they fear. The decision, the devourer fleet appeared in full force, dark ships, silent, cold, shadows swallowing starlight, their weapons charged. Earth's fleet was small, outnumbered, outgunned, but not alone. The sentinel stepped beside Hale, its body glowed brighter. Hale touched the glowing mark on his chest. He felt strength flow into him like a river of starlight. He looked at Rena. At this moment, humanity chooses. Rena swallowed nervously. Chooses what, sir? Hale looked out into the void where the devourers waited. His voice was calm, steady, powerful. Whether we run, the helmsman trembled. Or, Hale's eyes hardened, or whether we make the devourers afraid of the dark. The sentinel lifted its arm. Every light in the hangar grew brighter. The ship trembled with energy, not danger, power. Hale raised his hand toward the sky. Battle stations. The crew moved instantly. This time they were not fighting alone. The helios vibrated as alarms screamed across every deck. Outside the windows, darkness twisted with movement. The devourer fleet had returned, not in hundreds this time, in thousands. A sea of black ships surrounded the human fleet like predators circling prey. Except they did not attack yet. They waited, watching, studying, as if they sensed something had changed, something strange, something dangerous. A new presence on the command bridge. Hale stood tall, the faint glowing mark still pulsing on his chest. Rena looked at him with both fear and awe. Sir, you're different. Hale nodded slowly. I feel different. The sentinel floated behind him, its body glowing like a silent star. When Hale moved, the light on the sentinel shifted like it was sinking with him. The alien survivor whispered, a sentinel chooses only one bearer in 1,000 lifetimes. You are its voice now, its strength, its weapon. Hale looked at his hands. And what exactly can I do? The alien shivered. We don't know. No one has lived long enough to learn. The devourers make their move. The largest devourer flagship moved forward, the same planet killer that fired earlier. Its dark weapon core pulsed again with black energy. Rena gasped, sir, they're charging that doomsday cannon again. Hale didn't blink. Then we don't give them the chance. He raised his hand. The sentinel reacted instantly. Its body brightened, casting sharp beams of light across the bridge. The energy flowed from the sentinel into Hale. The glowing mark on his chest blazed like fire. The AI's voice trembled for the first time in the ship's history, warning, unknown power surge inside, Captain, energy level impossible to calculate. Hale stepped toward the window. Everyone watched. The Devourer cannon reached full charge. Then Hale lifted his hand, only a gesture, nothing more, yet space itself obeyed. A wave of bright energy burst outward from the Helios, silent, smooth, and perfect. It wasn't a weapon, it wasn't a shield, it was pure will. It hit the Devourer cannon head-on, the dark energy shattered like glass. The flagship recoiled violently, its weapon core exploding into black sparks. A massive shockwave rippled across the fleet. The bridge crew gasped. "What did you just do?" "Sir, that was impossible. You stopped their cannon with your mind." Hale lowered his hand slowly. "I didn't stop it," he said quietly. "The Sentinel did, I just guided it." Rena stared at him like he was something new, something legendary. "Sir, you're becoming a weapon." Hale shook his head. "No, I'm becoming a warning." The Devourers react. The enemy fleet suddenly shifted formation. No more silent circles, no more patient watching. They panicked. Hundreds of ships backed away. Thousands changed direction at once. The alien survivor gasped. They are afraid. They haven't run in 10,000 years. But the Devourers did not retreat. Instead, they unleashed everything. The space around the Helios exploded into chaos. Black beams, dark missiles, energy claws that tore through light itself. The human fleet shook under the assault. Warships rattled, shields cracked, hull plating burned. Rena shouted, "Sir, we can't take this. There are too many." Hale closed his eyes. He let the new energy flow through him, and something happened. He felt the Devourers, their minds, their hunger, their hatred, and something else, their fear of him, of the Sentinel, of the symbol glowing at his heart. Hale opened his eyes again. "Helios, open every weapon port." Rena hesitated. "Sir, we don't have enough firepower to hit that many targets." "We don't need firepower." He stepped forward. "We just need direction." The Sentinel drifted beside him. Its body brightened until the entire bridge was filled with white light. Then Hale spoke one word: fire. Humanity's first true strike from the Helios cannons, missiles, and railguns. Light erupted. Not normal weapon light, Sentinel light. Each shot moved with impossible precision, like they were alive. Lasers curved through space, striking multiple enemies in perfect arcs. Missiles exploded inside enemy engines with pinpoint accuracy. Railgun rounds bent mid-flight, piercing ship cores directly. The Devourer fleet screamed in silence as hundreds of ships died instantly. Rena was speechless. "Sir, how are our weapons doing that?" "The Sentinel," Hale said simply. "It guides every shot, and I tell it where to aim." The alien survivor fell to their knees. "Humanity, you are doing what no species ever has. You are fighting them and winning." But Hale wasn't celebrating. He stared at the massive flagship. Still damaged but alive. "That one," he whispered. "They won't run, they're too proud." He raised his hand again. The Sentinel followed. A beam of pure light formed at Hale's fingertips, a tiny spark, softer than a candle flame. Then it grew and grew and grew. It became a lance of white fire stretching across space. Every crew member felt the heat on their skin. The hangar shook, the shields glowed. "Sir, what is that?" Rena whispered. "A message," Hale said. He nodded once. The light beam shot forward. It struck the flagship directly in the center. The enemy ship didn't explode. It simply dissolved, melted into ash, vanished without sound. Gone. The rest of the Devourer fleet froze. Thousands of ships stopped moving. Then they ran. Warp engines ignited. Space twisted. The Shadow Armada vanished into the black. Retreat, escape, fear. Humanity had struck them, and they fled. For the first time in the history of the galaxy, the Devourers learned fear. Hale let the light fade from his hand. His knees weakened. Rena caught him. "Sir, are you okay?" He nodded slowly, but the Sentinel drifted close, touching his shoulder. Its soft glow flickered, dimmed, faded slightly. Rena frowned. "Wait, is the Sentinel tired?" The alien survivor stared in horror. "No, not tired, drained." Hale looked at the fading glow. "Meaning," the alien whispered, "meaning every time you use its power, you shorten its life." The bridge fell silent. Hale stared at the Sentinel, the last protector in the galaxy. It had given him power, guided his hands, saved his fleet, and now it dimmed, slowly dying because of him. Hale took a deep breath. "Then we'll use the power only when we must." The alien shook their head. "You don't understand. The Devourers will be back. They will come with more, and when they do, you will need the Sentinel again." Rena looked at Hale with fear. "Sir, if using the Sentinel kills it, what happens if you don't use it?" Hale stared into the endless void. "Then the Devourers kill Earth." The crew fell silent. Hale turned toward them slowly. "Prepare for the next battle." Rena whispered, "Sir, the next battle." Hale nodded. "The Devourers are running now, but they will return." He looked at the fading Sentinel. "And we have one protector, one chance, one path." He lifted his chin. "We take the fight to them." The crew gasped. "You want to attack them? Are you insane?" But Hale wasn't smiling. He was serious, deadly serious. "They attacked 1,000 worlds. They will attack Earth." He took a deep breath. "Unless we stop them first." The Sentinel pulsed weakly as if agreeing, and far, far out in the darkness, a new Devourer signal awakened. They were preparing, watching, building. Humanity had won the first strike. But this war just began. Space was quiet again, but this silence was not victory. It was the silence of something watching, something thinking, something planning. On the bridge of the Helios, the crew stared at the fading glow of the Sentinel. Its one sprite body now flickered like a dying lantern. Every pulse of light was softer than the last. Rena whispered, "Sir, if the Sentinel dies, we lose everything." Hale placed a hand near the glowing being, not touching but close. Then we protect it, even if it means going to the heart of the enemy. The alien survivor stepped forward shakily. No, Captain, you don't understand how far their heart is. Hale turned, explained. The alien looked terrified, as if saying the words might summon death. The Devourers do not live in normal space. They come from a place called the Maw. The entire bridge went still. Rena frowned. The Maw, the alien nodded slowly. A region beyond any map, beyond any chart, beyond sanity. Hale crossed his arms. That's exactly where we're going. The alien nearly collapsed. You can't. No one who enters the Maw returns. It is a monstrous storm of warped space and broken physics. Their home is a nest of dead stars and living darkness. Good, Hale said calmly. Then they won't expect us. Earth High Command responds back on Earth. The Council received Hale's report. The enemy had been defeated in the first battle. A Sentinel was alive. A captain had powers no human had ever wielded. But when Hale announced his next move, the room exploded. You want to take your fleet into the Maw? That is suicide. Earth needs you here. We can't risk losing the Sentinel. Hale's voice came through calmly over the hololink. Earth is not safe, not anymore. He widened the holo map. The Devourers had marked hundreds of systems, and Earth was glowing as a future target. They are regrouping, Hale said. They will come again with more and with worse. The president leaned forward. And you believe attacking them first will stop that? Hale nodded once. If we destroy their command core, their hive, their queen, or whatever leads them, they fall apart. Silence. Then President Amina asked one question. Captain Hale, are you certain this Sentinel is showing you the truth? The Sentinel, still weak, drifted into the holo view, its light dim but unmistakably pure. It placed one glowing hand on the captain's back. The president exhaled slowly. Very well, Earth will trust you once. And then she said the words that would shape the future of humanity. Proceed, Captain. This is now Operation Brightfall. Preparing for the impossible, the Helios crew moved like a storm. Engineers strengthened the shields. Medics prepared for radiation injuries. Marines stocked anti-boarding weapons. Pilots tested fighters in zero-light conditions. Rena approached Hale. Sir, we don't know what we'll find in the Maw. Hale nodded. I know, it might kill us. I know, it might kill the Sentinel. I know. Rena hesitated. So why go? Hale looked through the window at the stars. Because running has never saved humanity. Only fighting ever has. The Sentinel reveals more. Hours later, the Sentinel summoned Hale into a quiet, dark hangar. Its body glowed faint but steady. It touched the floor, forming symbols again. But this time, the images were different. A massive black sphere, cracks of light spilling out, living shadows swirling around it, a giant throne of bones and metal, a single towering figure with 6 bright eyes. Hale felt cold. That is their leader. The Sentinel paused, then showed the image again, this time closer. The figure was huge, like a living fortress. Its eyes burned with hatred and hunger. The alien survivor entered the hangar silently. That is the Devourer Monarch, the one who destroyed thousands of civilizations. Rena entered behind him. Sir, you can't be planning to fight that thing. Hale did not answer because the Sentinel created a final symbol, a human figure standing before the monarch holding a burning spear of light. Rena covered her mouth in shock. The alien fell to his knees. Hale closed his eyes. It wants me to fight it. The Sentinel dimmed again but bowed its head, an answer, yes. Entering the Maw, the Helios formed up with the other warships. Jump engines heated like stars. The Maw's coordinates glowed on the map, a swirling tear in space, blacker than night. The alien survivor whispered, that place killed entire galaxies. Rena gripped the handrail. Sir, last chance to turn back. Hale placed one hand over his glowing chest mark. His voice was quiet but unshakable. We don't turn back. We never turn back. He pointed forward. Jump. Space bent. Light stretched. The Helios dove into the Maw. Inside the Maw there was no sky, no stars, only twisting rivers of black fog and cracked space. Particles drifted like ashes of dead worlds. Mountains floated upside down. Broken moons spiraled in slow, painful circles. Gravity bent in strange ways. Time hummed. Rena gasped. Sir, this place isn't space. Hale nodded. No, this is a graveyard. The Sentinel floated close to him, glowing brighter as if absorbing the strange energy. The alien survivor nearly collapsed from terror. The monarch lives here among the ruins of everything it destroyed. Hale stared ahead, and then the darkness parted. Something enormous appeared, a shape so big it took almost a full minute for the sensors to map its outline. Metal, bone, shadow, a gigantic fortress floating in the Maw like a god's tomb. Rena whispered, trembling, that's their home. The alien could not speak. Hale lowered his voice. No, he stepped forward, that's their nest. And in the deepest center of that nest, 6 eyes opened, watching, waiting, awake. The Maw did not just look dead, it felt dead. The Helios drifted slowly toward the massive Devourer fortress, the nest, the hive, the throne of nightmares. Strange gravity waves pushed at the hull, bending light around the ship. Even the Sentinel flickered nervously. Rena whispered, Sir, I think this place is alive. Hale stared at the twisted world before them. No, it's worse, it remembers. 6 eyes in the dark, the alien survivor clung to a railing, staring ahead with trembling fear. Captain, those 6 lights, those aren't stars, that is the monarch. Rena's breath caught. The 6 glowing eyes opened wider, lighting up the darkness like burning suns. The Devourer monarch stepped out from the fortress shadows, and the ship shook from the sheer presence. It was massive, larger than any ship. Larger than any creature. Its body was a blend of metal, bone, organic plating, and dark energy veins. It didn't move like a living creature. It moved like a planet learning how to walk. Every step bent space. Every breath shook time. Rena whispered, voice cracking, "That thing leads an entire species." The alien survivor answered, "No, it is the species." Hale frowned. "What do you mean?" The alien swallowed. "All Devourer ships, every drone, every monster. Every soldier, they are not individuals. They are pieces, fragments, extensions of the monarch." Rena froze. "So destroying the monarch destroys the entire species?" The alien nodded. "Yes." Hale tightened his grip on the command rail. "Then that's our target." The monarch speaks without words. The lights dimmed. The maw grew colder. Then Hale felt a pressure inside his mind, like an invisible hand squeezing his skull. Rena grabbed her head. "Captain, something's pushing into our thoughts." The alien survivor screamed, "Don't let it in, the monarch is trying to break you." But Hale stood still. He didn't scream, he didn't move. He let the presence wash over him like a wave. A voice, cold, monstrous, ancient, echoed in his mind. "Little star, why do you walk into the jaws of death?" Hale replied in his mind, calm and clear, "Because you attacked my people." The monarch's laughter was like a collapsing star. "Humanity, fragile sparks pretending to be fire. Your species ends today." Hale felt his muscles tighten, but then the sentinel beside him glowed bright. The monarch's voice recoiled. I destroyed your kind." The sentinel raised its hand. A beam of soft white light cut across the darkness, just a thin line, but the monarch flinched. Hale smiled faintly. "You missed one." The monarch responds. The entire fortress shook. Massive black shapes crawled out of the structure. Devourer war forms unlike anything seen before. Not ships, not machines, living weapons, winged shadows, gigantic armored beasts, titan-sized warriors with burning red cores. Rena's eyes widened in horror. "Oh, we're dead." Hale's voice remained calm. "Not yet." He turned to the crew. "All ships, defensive wall formation, protect the Helios, protect the Sentinel." The crew scrambled into action. Engines roared. Cannons charged, shields rose, but the Devourer army kept multiplying. Hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands. The alien survivor whispered, This is the full strength of a species." Hale looked at the sentinel. "Can you still stand?" The sentinel flickered, barely holding shape, but it nodded, weak but willing. Hale placed his hand against its glowing surface. "Then let's show them humanity doesn't kneel." The opening strike, the monarch raised one massive arm and the maw trembled. A black beam shot out, large enough to cut a planet in half. "Brace!" Rena screamed. Hale didn't move. He raised his glowing hand. The sentinel moved with him. Light collided with darkness. A shockwave tore through the maw. For a moment, darkness cracked. The monarch stepped back, just one step. But that step meant something terrifying. The Devourer monarch felt pain. The alien survivor gasped. "You hurt it, you hurt the monarch." Hale exhaled slowly. "Good, let's hurt it more." The human fleet joins. The other human warships opened fire. Railguns, plasma cannons, missile storms, every shot guided by the fading sentinel light. Each hit burned into the monarch's armor. But for each wound they made, the monarch grew angrier. It roared, not in sound, in gravity. The space around the Helios bent, pulling the ship toward the fortress. Rena screamed, "Sir! It's trying to crush us, our hull is collapsing." The ship groaned, metal screamed, panels exploded. Hale fell to one knee. The sentinel grabbed him, holding him upright. The monarch's voice filled every mind. "Burn, little stars, your light ends here." The sentinel flickered violently, almost gone. Hale touched its core gently and whispered, "Not yet." He rose, and the mark on his chest exploded with white fire. The unthinkable happens. The monarch visibly froze. Its 6 burning eyes widened. Hale felt something inside him ignite, a force he never felt before, not power, purpose. A memory flowed into his mind, not his memory, the Sentinels. A vision of how Sentinels once fought, light melting into armor, energy shaping into blades, pure will forming shields. A single warrior facing entire armies. The last Sentinel had chosen him, and now it was giving him everything. Hale's body glowed like a star. His eyes burned silver. The bridge filled with light. Rena stared at him with disbelief. "Sir, you're becoming like them." Hale stepped forward. "No, I'm becoming human, just more." He raised his hand. The sentinel merged its light with his one last time, and Hale whispered, "Monarch, your turn." The monarch recoiled. For the first time in its eternal life, the Devourer monarch felt fear. And then Hale launched himself forward like a comet made of light, straight toward the throne of darkness. Straight toward the monarch, straight into the heart of the maw. The final battle had begun.